All right, I think we're live.
Yep.
First things first, guys. I want to thank Perry Comics for coming on to my show because, well, he didn't have to, and I do appreciate it.
I
I
don't have
know,
to be here.
I know he's a busy guy. You're a busy guy. He's got like, I think you spend all day long doing something for YouTube. So I do appreciate it. And we're gonna get started in a little bit. I'm just gonna chat with you for a second while people jump on. Whoever jumps on, great. If you guys watch it later, then thank you so much for watching it later. I'm curious because I asked this to just a Rican yesterday, and my question for him was, "What got you into the YouTube game?" I feel like that's such a. I know it's an upcoming thing. I feel like a lot of people are doing it now, but what got you into that?
2008,
Oh wow!
2009. Yeah, middle school going into high school. Getting a computer in my room, finding YouTube funny videos. So I've always been on YouTube. I've always tried to have like different types of channels. Yeah, it's been one thing I've always consistently been driven to. Like, I'll watch TV here and there. I might watch a movie, but YouTube, I'll always watch YouTube videos from all like the
Yeah,
most randomest things, like how to sculpt a piece of rock into an artwork. I'll sit there for 45 minutes and watch a video on it. I have no idea how to do this, but
really?
I just enjoy watching like normal people make something or do something like not no TV production, just like regular people making videos. I don't know. It's
That's
very
awesome.
captivating for me.
That's awesome. Oh, we got Just a Rican. He's
What's
saying,
up,
"Yo,
Rod?
I think he was. I think he wants to get back at you guys. I feel like he feels like you guys make fun of him when he's on. So
We
I
always
wouldn't
bust
be
each other's
surprised
balls.
if he says some things." And then Magic Lasso, he's this guy. I tell you, Magic Lasso has been one of the biggest supporters of my channel. He watches every single one of my videos. He's always on when I go live. This guy is fantastic. So
Yep. Oh
thank
yeah.
you so much, Magic Lasso. No, going back to he says no, no. Uh, so going back to the videos, I definitely hear you. I mean, I feel like sometimes I'll go on to watch a YouTube video, just on something that I kind of want to know about, and
Sure.
then I end up finding myself that like 3 hours later, I'm still watching YouTube
You jump
videos.
down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, because you know how it is. You're watching something and then you see the suggestions in the bottom, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, that looks interesting. Let me click on it. And then while you're watching that, you all of a sudden you're like, well, you know what? I want to find out about something else. So you click on something else, and then next thing you know, it's like I gotta get off, man. I
Yeah.
got stuff to do. But man, now this is always interests me because, like I said, I just started about 4 months ago. Now, when you started,
Mm.
was it to where you are now? Was it a huge, drastic change with the equipment you're using from when you started to now?
1000%. So when I started, I wanted to buy a bunch of different things like different lighting, different cameras, upgrade my computer, get a fancy mic. But I kind of like I started YouTube before multiple times, and then after like a month or a couple weeks, I'm like, screw this, screw this. So I'm
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
don't want to spend $1,000 and then be like, I'm not really committed. So I'm like, all right, let me give it like a week or let me give it like almost a year. And if I keep doing this, if I keep having fun, if I'm enjoying it, if I'm slightly growing, maybe I'll invest into it.
right.
And yeah, so now I think it was like towards the end of last year, I started putting a little bit of more money into it, and production quality went up a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this for a question for you that might help any new YouTubers out there. Ask, if you had to buy one piece of equipment that to you is like it's a must-have, you either to upgrade or to have to help you with the videos, what would you say that is?
Audio, microphone.
Audio.
1000%. Yeah, I'll rather use a webcam, a $40 webcam, and $1,000 microphone any day.
That's where I'm lacking right now. I need to get a microphone. I'm just using whatever came with my camera, which is decent, but I
Mm.
gotta get something fancy that makes me look like a podcaster. And maybe the headphones too. I see everybody with headphones, and I'm like, all right, I guess I need headphones too. um, Let me ask you a few questions right off the bat
Sure,
without
sure,
really
sure.
thinking about it much. Favorite superhero?
Probably Batman.
Batman.
Yeah.
Favorite villain?
Ooh, probably Lobo.
Oh, it's funny. Magic Lasso told me that that would be, one of your favorites. All right,
I'm a Lobo guy.
let's see. Okay, because I know you do a lot of reactions for different movies you watch for the first time. Well, from movies you've watched, give me your top 3 favorite movies.
Ooh, okay. Infinity War.
Nice.
That's the last one I seen, which is freaking awesome. The Rope by Alfred
Whoa.
Hitchcock,
Okay,
1948.
yeah.
And then I want to say The Thing,
The Thing.
1987, John Carpenter. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I haven't seen The Thing.
Ooh, it's a
I'm,
must watch.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to check it out.
The special effects they used in the 80s blew my mind away, and it's 2020. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
blown away how incredible they were. Like, I was watching it, and in my head, I'm like, all right, this is where all these modern movies and TV shows got their ideas from. Like, this is the movie, man. The thing is, it was really good.
Really.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm gonna have to go check it out now.
Yeah.
I've people have told me about it. I have passed it when it's been on different stations and stuff, and for some reason I just never stayed on it. But now that you mentioned, I'm gonna have to check it out. All right, next question. Let's see. How about favorite female superhero?
Ooh, favorite female superhero. I want to say Wonder Woman, but I kind of like Dazzler. I've been reading a lot of like reading up on Dazzler. I think she's really underrated and cool. But overall, probably Wonder Woman because I mean, come on, Wonder Woman.
I was gonna say you were just about to break Magic Lasso's heart there if you didn't pick Wonder Woman. All right, what about the opposite? So, favorite female villain?
Ooh, probably Harley.
All right, yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with
It's
you on
hard.
that
It's
one.
hard. It's hard. It's a hard one.
Yeah, there's just so many good. I guess it depends on what in what phase
Sure.
of that character. But I hear you. Superior Hero Reviews. What up,
What's up, man?
everyone? It's I don't know how when you go live, I do a horrible job reading the comments. I get distracted with the video, and by the time I look at the comment, there's like 20, and I'm like, well, too late now. So I apologize, guys, if I miss anything. All right, next question, Terry. Here we go. Did you pick up any books today on New Comic Book Day?
I picked up a little bit. Yeah, a few books. A few. I haven't read anything yet.
Oh, me neither. What would you say your top pickup for this week? What book that you were looking forward to picking up this week was?
Probably Oblivion Song, issue 25.
See, I got the other cover. I didn't see that cover. I kind of like that cover better than the other one.
A few, yeah. I just, it's cool seeing Robert Kirkman do another book that's not just short. Like, it looks like this book has some longevity to it. Like
Right.
they're putting time into this, and I'm like, oh, I'm all in. Yeah, I'm strapped in.
I think I'm missing because that's number
25.
8? 25. Well, I'm thinking something else. Sorry. 25. That's right. I think I'm missing like 3 or 4 of them. So I think I just got to catch up on. I don't like to read unless I have them, unless I'm all cut up, if that makes any sense.
100%. Yeah.
But what happens is every time I go to New Comic Book Day, I end up buying like 20 books. And guess what? I never catch up. Mm-hmm. So they end up sitting there in my boxes. And by the time I get to reading something, I'm way behind. But it's all right. It's all right. Let's see. Just a Rican saying, buy or pass, man. Question for Perry. Your channel explodes to COVID. Is there a downside to gaining so many subscribers so fast? How do you deal with it?
Ooh, a downside, sure. There's a thing called people that are very negative. Oh man, I don't like to delete comments because I feel like everyone deserves, to give their own opinion. I'm fine with that.
I agree.
But sometimes it's like I'll go like back and forth with somebody arguing because I like to stand my own ground, So someone's gonna come at me, I'm gonna like talk back and forth.
Yeah.
And then there's like 20 comments of me going back and forth with someone. I'm like, I gotta delete this. No one ever needs to see this.
That is funny. What is the craziest negative comment you've gotten,
Oh,
or funniest, whichever one you wanna say.
oh, I could go with both actually. Somebody I said I'm finally when I was watching Infinity War, we're finally gonna get the juices that I've squenched. Something like that. That was like the most ridiculous thing that made no sense. And somebody quoted me and said, "You're brilliant." I'm like, yeah, somebody one out of 35,000 people, one person understood what I meant. Oh man. And then just the majority of people just calling me a liar because I have Marvel stuff behind me, and they're like, "Oh, how? Of course, you've seen these movies." So it's just roll with it.
There's always gonna be those negative comments, right? I mean,
Yeah,
no matter, you could be the nicest person in the world, and somebody's gonna talk crap about you.
it's gonna happen.
That's just the way it is, you know. That was a good question, Magic Lasso.
Oh yeah.
Actually. Just Ricans laughing at us, man. Comic Jabroni, what up, man?
What's up, Jabroni?
Before the show, we were talking about you. Nothing bad. I don't
Totally
think.
bad.
Totally bad. At least from Perry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's let's get right into one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, which is, what got you into collecting? I really find it interesting to hear people's stories of what got them into this world of collecting, because it really is. I feel like for a lot of us, it's more than a hobby. It's an addiction. It really becomes an addiction. And I guess what got you into it?
I used to read back in like 2006, 7, back when I was like in middle school. I was having problems with like reading. I didn't want to read. My stepbrother, who to this day probably has one of the biggest collections I've ever seen, is super into comics, and he would give me like Punisher Max, and that would get me like it would blow my mind away seeing the Punisher Max like blowing people's heads off, half
Right.
naked women like being chained up in the bayou. I'm like, this is insane. I'm like 12, 13 reading this,
Right.
it's blowing my mind. This isn't Superman flying around saving Metropolis. This is like a whole nother field.
Right. Right.
So that's kind of like where I got my joy from. Like I would just go into like one of his random boxes and pick out whatever cover looked cool, and I would just sit down and read it upstairs.
That's awesome.
Fast forward, I moved to Florida in 2010, so I was completely away from comics for years. 2017, 18, the new Call of Duty came out, and I've always wanted to get a collector's edition of a video game. And lo and behold, my girlfriend, she bought it for me without me knowing.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, it was a mystery box, and I opened it, and there was a Call of Duty Dark Horse comic inside.
Oh, wow.
And when I was flipping through it, it was just like a hit of a drug almost. Like I got so much joy out of reading like such a garbage comic because it was not good at all. But just the feeling of reading a book again,
Right.
it was
Right.
like so good that I was like, man. I started going on YouTube. I found Comic Tom, and then that motivated me to look for a comic book shop. And I went and I found some shops, and it was just like a tumble effect after that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like I said, I always find that interesting, because it's just everybody has a different story. I don't.
Sure.
I feel like there's always a difference. Whether it could be very similar, but it's always a difference. What do we have here? Rafael Tan. Hey guys, I got into comics by watching the characters on TV. Then I saw the comic book. Yeah,
Heck
I
yeah.
I feel like that's always a great way that I hear a lot of people get into it as well. Comic Jabroni says hi to everybody. Like I said, I know I mentioned this before. I'm awful with the comments, guys. I'm trying to go back and forth, and I lose my train of thought, and then it is what it is. So let me ask you. Besides, what do you collect? I mean, besides, do you collect statues? Do you collect pops? Do you collect?
So I got into the Funko Pop pretty heavy. Uh, like my whole back thing was like filled up Funko Pops to the ceiling, and eventually I just looked at it and it was just like collecting dust. I couldn't. I was like, "There's no detail in this." I'm like, "Why am I spending my money?" I took it down to the shop, got store credit, and I just started buying statues that I really enjoyed, like Killing Joke. That's one of my favorite statues in the Batman black and whites.
Yeah.
And I just started buying little things that I really liked that had some type of detail. And they're cool. People come over and they see the statues, and it's like, ooh, what is that? Where's that from? Who's
Right.
that? And
Right.
it's like it's a conversation builder almost. But yeah, no, I try to collect statues. prints, these were mostly just all gifts. So I kind of like, oh, if you're going to send me something, I'm going to put it on the wall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't really collect prints, but if anyone wants to send me a print,
Very
I don't
good.
mind. Yeah, I don't mind putting it on the wall.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Now, when it comes to comics, I'm not really into old comics. Like Silver Age, Golden Age, Bronze. I don't care too much. Like people to me go crazy about first appearance that came out in the '60s. That I want to see what's coming out next Wednesday. That's
Right,
like
right, right, right,
that's more my flow. I feel like I don't know, maybe as the years go by I might get into older comics.
right.
But I don't know. I even go back issue hunting for modern books. It's weird.
Well, you know what? That's a great thing about collecting is the fact that you're collecting for what you want.
Hmm.
There's no right or wrong. It's
Yeah.
you like the new stuff, and somebody else is gonna like the old stuff. And you know what? It's all good.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. All right, let me go before I ignore more people, Perry.
Very
Uh,
collects.
Perry collects compliments.
I'll take it.
He wants more of them, guys. So
Yeah.
keep on sending them. Uh, Before I collected Funko Pops and statues, got more hyped on statues.
Yeah.
Statues. I just got my first statue. Which was the Wolverine versus Hulk versus Wolverine statue from
That's an awesome
Cycle.
statue. Yeah.
And that thing is maybe because it's just my first one, but that is the prettiest thing I have seen. I mean, the detail, it is enormous too. I mean, this thing is huge.
Yeah.
I had my liquor cabinet, and I had glasses and liquor on top of it. I had to get rid of all that stuff just to put the statue up
Yeah.
there. But I still have liquor in the cabinet, so that's always a good thing. K Titus, how you doing? K Titus is always commenting on my page, so I really appreciate it. Hearts Life
Yeah.
Spotlights, yo yo yo. He just sent me a book that I'm gonna get in the mail next week, so I'm very excited about that.
Heck yeah.
Sorry, Perry, am I doing that all
No,
right?
you're good. You're killing it, man.
Get to it. Magic Glasses always saying hi to everybody. It's fantastic.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. I'm not gonna try to read it because I'm gonna mess it up, even though I am ESL, but not in that language. And just Perry, I'm guessing that's hello, Perry.
There we go.
But
Now you were saying the detail in that Hulk statue, and that's another thing. Like the details in the statues, sometimes they get like really small, like the smallest little details that you could only see when you're looking at it up close.
yeah,
That's another thing I've been debating getting into the hot toys realm because I've been
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
some hot toys. And I'm like, dude, they're using real leather, real cloth. They're like the tiniest things are hand stitched. I'm like,
yeah.
the amount of time someone puts into this makes me want to just buy it just for
Right.
that reason alone.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's funny because the statue for me is still so new that at night before I shut off the light in my room and I do whatever I do in my room, I'll go up and I'll look at it. And
That's awesome.
it's just something that I think I'm gonna do for a while. And it's funny because every single night I look at it, I find something new that I'm like, oh, holy crap, I didn't even see that before. And it's like it could just be something like, it looks like he has a little bit of dirt in his toenails, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. He's obviously running around in dirt, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. If his toenails and fingernails were clean, then I'd be like, all right, you guys could have done a little better job. He's a Hulk. He's not a clean person.
No, not at all.
But it's funny. It's funny, man. I tell you, those now I'm seeing next to you. Are those the records with the comics?
These?
Yeah,
Down here?
on top, like right next to you, like the bigger ones. Yeah.
This is it's like a wooden plaque.
Oh, okay.
So like I used to have them on the wall in the living room, but I figured it's probably better here because I feel like you could like see reflections.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna just put that there and
Oh,
I gotta
nice.
throw a comic every now and then, like Red and Stimpy.
Right. Nice.
This is the dumb shit, the dumb stuff I like to collect. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm like I like the cartoon, So I seen this, I'm like, this is pretty cool. It has like a little scratch and sniff on the back of it. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that agree with you. So
Yeah.
that's great. I thought those were the ones that came with the record and the book. And
Oh no, those are pretty cool. Yeah, I would totally
Yeah,
pick that up if I ever
I
seen
thought that
them.
was them because they're about the same size. So I was like, oh, that's
Oh wow.
cool too. But those are cool too. All right, Perry. So next thing up, obviously, I wanted to talk about personal keys. Which is something that I especially like to talk about because when I say keys, it's keys to you, not keys to what you're seeing in the market. I mean, if it happens to be something that's in the market, like
That's cool. Yeah.
Fallout 4, then great. But what are we talking about with you?
Um, well, when it comes to the market, I could care less. that,
Right,
that's
right.
just me. I don't know. When it comes to keys, I just look for something that I guess resonates with me in a way. Something that's like something cool happens into a book. That's like for instance, the last issue of I don't read Batman, but I happen to have been reading the Punchline storyline.
Yep.
The last issue that came out, I believe, was 92. To me, that's a cool issue for the simple fact that Harley Quinn got her throat cut and now she's gonna have a scar there. So that's the issue where like they kind of deformed her in a way that they now she has a noticeable scar on her as a consistent reminder. I'm like, dude, that's a cool book to have.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but I would guess like this is like my all time. Like whenever I find Lobo in anything, I have to
Right.
buy it. I
How many
can't.
copies of that book do you have?
Well, I have a 9.8 back there. I have two more
Oh,
regular, and
nice.
then I have the European version
Oh, to you.
that for
Nice.
some reason you can't find it anywhere, and I have one. So that's my $50,000 book.
Awesome. You don't have the Mexican version?
I wish I could find it. Well, this one's European from Spain, so it's technically in Spanish.
That's true. That's
So
true.
I'm okay with that. I could read some of the words because I'm Hispanic, so I could try to read it.
How are you? Where from?
My father's Cuban, my mother's Colombian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
See, I think I could talk to you in Spanish too and stuff. So we
no
one
problem.
show we're gonna do all in Spanish
Whole Spanish show. There we
and
go.
just see how many people are confused.
We'll hit the South American market.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, what is your you have any other books?
Um, I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's mostly like Lobo. I love finding his first appearance and any books he's in. Um, my all time like main focus in collecting because I mean finding Lobo books is cool. Like that's my fun book.
Yeah.
Detective Comics.
Yeah.
Um, that's a book that it doesn't come off the pull list. I don't care who's writing it. I don't care how bad it gets. That's not coming off. Whenever I see a detective book I don't have, I buy it, no matter what.
Awesome. Awesome.
And the goal is to get 1 through 1,000 and plus. I know those early 100 issues are slightly expensive, but I mean
Yeah.
I'm 27. I got a few years
Oh,
to
you're
make
young.
some money. Yeah, yeah.
You're
I
young.
could.
All you guys are so freaking young. You guys make me feel old, man.
No, no.
I got you all beat by like 10 over 10 years.
Oh, damn. You don't look a day over 30.
You
You
know,
know?
it's everybody says I'm way younger, and I'll
Yeah.
take it. You know,
Oh yeah.
can't complain. All right, Perry. Let me get back real quick to the
Sure, sure,
comment.
sure.
I don't miss people. Uh, I've used cats. I mostly collected
Just
trade
about.
paperbacks and or hardcovers. I just picked up volume 3 of the old fiction house Planet Comics from eBay. Nice.
That's the best way to read comics. Is a
Yeah,
trade where you could sit down and just binge like 6 issues, like nothing.
exactly. I I gotta get more of those, to be honest with you. Magic Lasso, I would check about Wonder Woman after the shop opens due to Corona. I made a call to earlier.
Ooh.
That's Magic Lasso is always getting Wonder Woman. That's awesome, Kitaris. Let's see. I tell you, what up, bro? Trinidad Gomez. I
Trinidad.
know that he wrote me a message saying he just subscribed. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna make a point to remember so I can add you to my giveaway actually that I'm doing for subscribers that
Ooh.
are subscribing right now, which I am giving away 3 slabs. So I will add you to that, guys.
Okay.
I do appreciate it. Getting back to to comics, it's for me. It's always been, and I think I've mentioned this in some of my other videos, but it's for me when I buy books. I wish I would say that I bought it primarily for the storyline, but I really buy it for the art. If
Sure.
there's a cover that catches my attention and I like the art, I'm gonna buy it. It could be a horrible book, but the fact that the cover looks nice and I like the art, I'm gonna buy it. You
Okay.
know, I'm and I was telling you, I really got in. Like I said, my whole getting into heavy collecting. I've always been into comics. I've always liked reading and stuff like that. But I really got into buying and everything else. Uh, Pretty much in October of last year when I started my Instagram account, and I was telling you I have an obsessive personality where I got the comics and I really enjoyed the pops and I really enjoyed the arcade one up machines. And when I just go off like that, like my room is just filling up to the point where I need a bigger room,
Yep.
And besides the fact that I'm a shooter, so I like to go shooting and stuff like that. So that's another extremely expensive habit that I either got to find a different job or I got to hit the lottery because now that I got the statue, if I keep on buying freaking sideshow statues, it's just not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? But so what, just so everybody watching, knows, what do you got in the works? What do you got? What can people look forward to in your channel? Because you've done so well. You're just growing like crazy and you get some crazy views. I'll put out a video and I'll get 100 views and then you'll get like 340,000 views. So what do people have? What do you have in the works people should be looking out for?
Well, definitely Ant-Man and Wasp should be out Friday. I just finished editing Gladiator, which was a great movie, by the way. A Clockwork Orange, American Ultra, which I heard not a lot of people seen that, but that was really good.
I liked it.
I thought that was kind of cool, like that because like the whole MK Ultra thing was like a real thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's so cool that they like carried this and they've been working on this for the last 60 years. I'm like, this is a good movie, So
I agree.
Yeah, I got a ton of movies coming out, live shows. I kind of want to get back into the comic book review world, reviewing weekly books, but we'll see. I'm gonna see how it goes.
Magic Lasso says he heard when Perry hits 1 million subs, he has given himself away. Is there some truth behind this, Perry?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out when I hit 1 million.
Now, have you seen this? I'm actually curious. Have you seen The Shining?
No, I read a little bit of the book.
Phenomenal. I like that movie. I was gonna say because if you saw it, you're gonna have to watch the follow-up movie, which is Doctor Sleep, which is, in my opinion, such a great follow-up. But if you haven't seen it, hopefully you do it sometime because
I'll get to it.
It's awesome. I'm trying to think of what movies I've seen lately that I've really enjoyed, and that's the thing with me is I like everything. Sure. So like I'll watch the same movie 5 days in a row. That's the thing, and if I like it, I'll just watch it night after night after night. And it's I don't know, people get mad at me, but it is what it is. I do what I like. I watch what I like. What about shows? Any shows you're watching currently that you're enjoying?
So I got a second channel where I'm like watching TV shows.
Second channel. That one only has 2 million subscribers, guys. So.
Hey, it's about to hit 1,000. Make sure you subscribe.
Make sure to subscribe, guys.
So like I've been doing like anime because I used to watch like a lot of like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon growing up. So I'm like, all right, a lot of people are like into the whole anime realm now, and I'm like, I'll give it a try. And some of the anime is like mind blowing.
Before you continue, I'm gonna ask you because I do watch a few things.
Oh boy.
And if you don't watch this, it's all right. I won't hold it against you.
He's gonna kick me off.
Here we go. Naruto.
I've never seen Naruto. No.
Probably my absolute favorite.
It's on my list. It's on my list, though.
All right, you go watch it. Then watch it. Okay. I won't interrupt you. I just wanted to see if that was one of them. But
no, I've watched Death Note.
Yep.
Which has been pretty damn amazing. Attack on Titan.
Yep.
My Hero Academia.
Yep.
So I think those are all the animes ones I started so far. But I'm also gonna do like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., some more serious stuff. Hannibal, I heard was really good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
gonna try to get into that. But yeah, I'm trying to just fire off on all cylinders and see what sticks.
Yeah. Now, how much time do you spend a day editing? Because this is the one thing that for me, I'll edit an 18-minute video and it'll take me 6 hours, and it's ridiculous. What is your ratio? Are you gotten good at this
I've
or?
gotten yeah. At first, it was taking a long time. Now I got about a 2 hour movie takes me about 3 to 4 hours.
Well, that's not
Now
bad.
the yeah no the tricky part is rendering it, uploading it to YouTube, and then YouTube copywriting it and getting it blocked, and then I have to start all over again. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll start a movie on Monday and it's ready Monday night, but then I have to re-edit it Tuesday, and then the same thing, and then Wednesday, and then I just spent 5 days,
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours editing in this damn thing, and it finally comes out on Friday. So it just depends.
How do
Everything
you,
is all over the
how do you
place.
fix something like that with them? Because I mean, that happened to me once, and I gave up, and I'm like, forget. I was like, I don't want to deal with YouTube.
It's it's just I guess playing around with it, trying to change pitches, speed, taking out a certain visual aspect of it. Um,
You got the tricks. This is what I needed to know. It's got all the tricks. See, I didn't know that. See, I that was actually something that, like I said, I did do once, um, and like I got like a little message being like, pretty much being like, don't do it again. And I was like, all right, I thought to myself, I could go back and I could try to kind of change it up and fix it up a bit so it won't happen. But they're just, I feel like they're sticklers. I mean, uh, Jester Regan in his comments was telling me that he posted a video one day, and just because he had something in the background on the TV, they didn't they blocked them. Well, they didn't
Sure.
allow him to
they went, yeah,
put the video off because it's something in the background.
yeah.
I mean, come on. It's not like you're trying to. If you have something in the background, you're not trying to make money off of it. It's not like if you're not talking about
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
what's the issue? But I feel like
It's worse if you do it live, because if you do it live, for some reason, the penalty is far harsher than if you
really,
do it. And so if you do it live and you mess up like that by playing some type of copyrighted content, not only will they block you, but they'll keep you from going live for a few weeks or a few months.
really,
Yeah, yeah. That's why I always try to, like, when I'm live, I make sure I don't have nothing going on, nothing else going on.
yeah,
God
yeah.
forbid. Oh man, yeah.
Are,
So it
are
gets a
you
little.
are you talking from experience or?
No, 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 well, so I used to watch like a lot of IRL, like live streamers, and I don't know. I feel like the best way to learn YouTube is to watch YouTube.
Yeah,
Watching other people do something that's way better at it than you are, it's almost like y- Leonardo da Vinci doesn't watch the shitty painter. He watches
right,
someone who's amazing so he could learn to become better. So I feel like
right,
it's the same
right.
thing with YouTube. So I
No,
always
I
try to
agree.
watch, and then when you see a big YouTuber make a mistake, well, you already learned his mistake, so you don't got to do it again.
Right, right, right. No, I agree with you. It's. I feel like the YouTube thing. Like I said, I'm new. It's tough. It's I think that going into it at first, I was like, how hard can it be? You make a video, you pop it on, people watch it. It's. I mean, it kind of
Sometimes,
is like that, right?
yeah, yeah,
But it's everything is it's a learning curve. Like for me, I started with, I was talking with Rod about this. Is you start off with your phone, just flipping through books, and that's your video.
yeah,
Then you start recording yourself a little more, and then it's just kind of like it evolves into this whole production of like, I end up being like, I got to make sure my light is in this position. I got to make sure that my backgrounds are right. Got to move the pillows.
yeah,
I start to care about it way more, and it becomes like for me at least, it's an obsession where it's kind of like I look forward to it, but I'm also like I want to make sure I do it right. And like you said, watching other people to do it better, and that is the best way to do it.
yeah,
And it has helped me because one of my biggest things that I read about from watching one of the videos was thumbnails. And they said, if you want people to watch your videos, have a good thumbnail. Because if you have a crappy thumbnail, you're gonna get the watch because it was an accidental click. It wasn't an intentional view.
yeah, yeah,
And it makes so much sense because if I look back at it and I look at what videos I'm watching, it's because something catches my attention, and it makes so much sense. And it's You know, I mean, what's your give me a tip. What is your biggest tip you can give me? What should I be doing better, Perry?
Uh,
I mean, I'm already good looking, so I got that part
I mean,
down.
you got that part checked off, right?
You know,
um, it's tricky because it's mostly about knowing your audience, knowing who do you want to target, who are you targeting, and sometimes you could have everything perfectly, and your audience that you're targeting is just small,
right,
and there's nothing you could do about that. But I mean, if you want to target something huge, then that's when all the little YouTube tricks come into a play.
right,
Because it's like you're not the only person making a video about the new Marvel trailer. There's 100,000 people doing it, and
right,
they all just did it better than you. So
right,
how are you competing? That's when you need to start studying it and really knowing what you're doing from thumbnails, titles, descriptions, tags. Who because I think the biggest thing is if you're gonna make a video, you're mostly gonna get noticed by being on someone else's recommended page.
right, right.
So I mean that's how my Marvel I did my Marvel movie in January, like 200 people seen it. 3 months later, it popped up on someone's recommended page, who got 100,000 views.
Oh, really?
So I only needed 10% of that 100,000
Right,
views to click on my video for
right,
my channel to start gaining traction. So it just happened that I had the right tags, the right title, the right thumbnail of me and everybody
right.
just clicked on it. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's it. You just gotta
Yeah.
cross your fingers and hope to God.
Well, it was funny you said that because somebody, I forget who it was. I don't know why I'm blanking out. Uh, on their storyline, put some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I forget what they said, but something like, "This is your
Oh, this is my reaction.
your
Yeah.
reaction," and every
Well, in the reaction game, it's like people want to see someone react to something. So when they see an outlandish thumbnail, they're more drawn to click on it and see, well, what is this about?
right, right.
So
No, I
you
agree.
gotta play the game.
It's it's tough, it's I was playing around with this and I'm like, it's always like, well, what do I do next?
Sure.
And it's funny because like what do I do? Because I try to think about it in this way. Do I do something like, for example, new comic book day, right? Do I try to do something as early as possible, or do I try to just do the best possible content for it? I feel like it's one of those things where, like, do you try to put it before somebody else puts it up, or do you try to just have better content? It's one of those things that I kind of have a hard time sometimes dealing with, because I'm like, I want to do everything. I
Yeah.
want to put up the first video and I want to put up the best content. But the fact is that just because you think you have the best content doesn't mean you have the best content.
Well, when it comes to that, it because that's such a new thing every week. There's new comics every week, so
Right.
your audience is only gonna watch that video for like 1 to 2 days. So there's
Yeah.
no one's gonna watch a review that you did on last Wednesday 2 years from now. The
Yeah.
only people that are gonna watch are gonna be the people within that week window, more or less.
Yeah.
So and then it becomes the game where if you want to be the first one, the people you're targeting are people who want the review. They don't really care who's giving it out. They just want to know if it's good or bad.
Right. Right.
Versus if you wait 2 or 3 days and you put out really good production, those are the people that are coming to see you. They just happen to like comics.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. No, I agree with you. It's a learning curve, I tell you. Yeah, let me real quick. Let's see here, because like I said, I'm gonna get backed up, man.
Oh,
Hey
no.
guys, a lot of Heather Nicole. Thank you so much for watching. Borican Comics, what
How's it
up?
going?
Bugs Hype, what's up, guys? What's going on, guys? It's very awesome you guys to be up here. I do appreciate you guys watching. Obviously, TK. Hey, what up, fellas? And he little dig at you, Perry. Perry knows
Nothing
right there.
like that. A little bit.
Out, little
Like I say, I watch these YouTube videos, man, and just start learning about random stuff.
Naruto is so long, but I agree. Naruto is one. You got Naruto, then you got Naruto Shippuden, then you got Boruto, which is the newest one right now, currently going. It is, I don't know, it's like 50,000 episodes.
Damn.
So, but it's just ridiculous. Hello, Boo. Lasso, Sal Paris. It took me a second. I was like, wait, what? Anyways, I just lost my train of thought.
No.
All right, so I know you mentioned we talked about keys, we talked about what got you into collecting, we talked about what else you collect, which we found out that you used to be a Funko Pop hoarder, and then you got rid of everything, and then just put all that money into other stuff, which is I guess is kind of like what you do with collecting, right? You buy stuff, you sell stuff, whether it's in house or to a store, which I've done the same thing, which is for credit and get new stuff. And I think that's a great way to do it. It's if you don't want to spend money, I'm sure that we all have things that we can sell. Things that we have multiples of. That we have multiples of because not really sure why. It's our favorite. Like you got your multiples, and we got our multiples of like certain titles that we like, certain stories, and it's just, and we don't need 20 of them, so get rid of 19 people, keep one and, buy some new stuff, I guess, are you a movie collector?
No, I don't own any movies. No, I own
any movies?
no, I have a VHS of Doctor Who that I randomly found like a couple years ago, and I just decided I bought the VHS, and as I was on the way home, I was like, oh, I don't have a VHS player.
I don't have a VHS player.
No, but actually, I kind of want to go hunting for movies. I want to find movies that I've watched on my channel, so I could have like an actual physical copy of the movie that I've seen.
Still old school like VHS, or
if it's like, I want to find like the original Star Wars movie is different from the Star Wars today. So right. Well, I want the original one. I don't want some new edited garbage. I want like the original thing that came out, the same thing that people experienced the first time they went to that theater. I want to get that experience.
I agree. It definitely. If you can find a VHS player, then
they're expensive.
Are they really?
Yeah, on eBay, it's a VHS and a DVD player with HDMI, like $100. I'm like, come on, dude.
Really?
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
I guess you gotta look. And all those things are gonna keep going up in price. I mean, look at the old. I mean, not that you can compare them, but look at like old game systems. Sure. You get a boxed up Nintendo. And it's like, how much do you want for that? But I can see it.
They're great. They're grading the video games now.
Well, that's ridiculous, dude. If I knew that way back when I had,
of course, I would just buy everything.
'Cause I had all those games there going for like thousands of dollars now.
They're selling like Xbox 360 sealed games for like $200-$300. I'm like,
are they really?
Yeah, I'm like, this is a joke, right? Like number one, it's sealed. You can't open it, so you can't even look at the CD. I don't know. That's just. I mean, I have a 9.8 Lobo. That's the only graded book I care to have, just because it looks cool. It's a cool way to display it. But I'm not a graded guy. I like to open things. I like to open things.
So you were the kid that destroyed all your comics when you got them?
I had first appearance with Red Hood. I spilled a Coke on it and threw it in the garbage.
Really? That is funny.
That was me. Don't tell my brother.
Don't tell me, brother. It's funny though when you look back and you're like, if I obviously it's kind of like one of those things where like if I knew, what I know now back then, it's. I mean, I would have saved so many things. I mean, there's so many things nowadays that you can sell from they're old that you're like, this will never be worth money, and now you're like, oh, how much you want? 20 grand for it? It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Especially like the old. I mean, you know what it was? I was watching an episode and they were talking about like I forget what the name of the dolls were. They're
the Beanie Babies.
No, they're something dolls. They still make them, but like the older ones are just ridiculous. And you're like, they're dolls. I mean, to me, they're dolls. That's the thing. I shouldn't say that, but to somebody else, they're.
Hey, that toy community is they're up there. The people who collect toys, all that stuff, the little muñequitos, like people spend money on that, like crazy money. You know?
No, it's ridiculous.
Hey, that just goes to show you, everyone has something from like their childhood or something that like resonates with them. Then they're like, all right, well, if I got the wallet for it, I want it.
Yeah. Cabbage
Cabbage
Patch
Patch
Kids.
Kids.
Yeah, I remember those. I mean, were those out, or
Yeah, they had those at like KB Toys, you know.
you were already? See, I'm trying. See, when I talk to certain people, because I'm like I said, I'm like 11, 12 years younger, older than
Sure.
a lot of you guys. I'm like, I'll say like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, oh wait, that wasn't even
Yeah.
out when you were around that age. You know, I was gonna mention this earlier. You know, we were talking about YouTube and stuff like that, and getting subscribers and everything else. You know what pisses me off when I see this like 8-year-old kid with like 1 million subscribers, and all he does is open up toys, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, I guess people are. I mean, maybe I need to start going and buy toddler toys and start opening them up on my channel.
It's
Yeah,
the kids.
it might get me views because, you know, an adult opening up.
My son watches like the same video like 45 times in a row.
Really?
Yeah, and then
That's
he
what you
wants to
think
and
that,
then he wants to go to the store and buy it. And
yeah.
so the company that sells the toy, then they endorse the kid. So now he's making the YouTube bank and then crazy
Yeah.
amounts of sponsorships. And they have this one kid making like $20 million a year off YouTube. I'm like, yeah, damn. That's a
Are
lot
you
of money.
serious?
Yeah, he's like 8 years old. Yeah. You know?
It's the parents, man. That's what you gotta do. You gotta get your kids. That's your next channel.
Yeah.
It's just your kids like tell you kids doing comic review.
I have my kids, they haven't seen the MCU yet, so I have them react to the MCU.
Yeah, that's your next video. I tell you,
And then have my mom react to the MCU, you know?
the whole family. That's the moneymaker right there. But hey, Perry, I really do appreciate it. I don't want to keep you going. I know that you probably have about 17 hours of editing coming up right now for different things. I do want to thank you so much for tuning into my channel, coming over here as a guest, talking about, you know, personal things like your collections and stuff like that. And I do want to thank everybody that came over to watch, guys, anybody that was here and anybody that's going to watch in the near future. I do thank you guys. I do always appreciate the support. You guys have been amazing. The community is just great. I'm going to try to get, you know, keep on putting out the content that you guys are going to watch. I'm trying to catch up to Perry and everybody else. You know, at some point in the next 30 years, I will. So we'll see how everything goes. But once again, thank you so much, guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Please subscribe, hit that bell if you guys haven't yet. That way you get notified every single time I have new content. And obviously, you guys know if you guys haven't subscribed to Perry, which the amount of subscribers he has, I'm sure that everybody subscribed to me is already subscribed to him. So having that said, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. And Perry, I'll talk to you in a second.
Heck yeah.